how's everybody doing? This is Les, your boy. We finally here, Brothers of Influence. You know, we're here, we're getting ready to get things started. I just want to tell you guys a little bit about what Brothers of Influence is all about. And essentially, Brothers of Influence is simply brothers just coming together, chopping it up. You know, we're discussing different ideas and concepts, you know what I'm saying? To motivate other brothers and sisters out there, mainly brothers though. This is mainly for the brothers. We feel like, you know, our young brothers these days are at risk. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I've been there. You know, coming from a position of lack, coming for, you know, being a minority, growing up, you know, facing all the challenges that I faced. You know what I'm saying? Getting to where I am now. I'm blessed to be here. I just want to give back in that sense. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like through the life lessons that I've learned up to this point in my life, I feel like somebody else needs to hear that. There's some young brothers out there need to hear that. They need to hear how to get to point A to point B. They're going through certain struggles in their lives that they're trying to figure out how to get to that next step. So essentially, Brothers of Influence is getting together brothers, you know, who are further along in life, who have seen some successes, whatever. And, you know, we want to talk about that. And it range from all different topics. It doesn't stop anywhere. We're just talking about different things. You know, we're sitting down, we're chopping it up, and we're just having great conversation. You know, we're just looking to build a community of brothers doing healthy things, you know what I'm saying? Coming together, unifying. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that that's not out there, but we need that to be seen. You know what I'm saying? So essentially, this is what Brothers of Influence is about. So on today's episode, we're getting ready to kick things off with my brother, Andre Gunter. You know, he's very big on Instagram. He's very big on staying present. You know, I respect what he does. I respect him as a brother. I see what he does, you know, and I just have a lot of respect for him. And I thought, you know, he'd be a good person to invite up here to, you know, pretty much talk to you guys about whatever comes to mind for him and whatever he wants to share. Also, I have my brother for a long time, Sheldon Myers. You know, he's also owns. How many businesses is she on now? I don't know, man. Anyways, he's a serial entrepreneur. That's how I would personally describe him. You know, he's influenced my life crazy enough. He's influenced my life into entrepreneurship because I was a 9-to-5 guy all the way. You know, but we'll talk more about that later. And I also have here a young brother, Taj, who is mentoring right under Sheldon. I think that's so great. You know what I'm saying? Taj is just a young brother that I met. You know, he have his own business, and just being young, it's like, man, I'm living vicariously through you, brother, because, you know, these are things that I always wanted to do at the earliest stages of my life. You know what I'm saying? My early 20s, but never really did it. You know what I mean? Because, you know, you're young, you having fun. You know what I'm saying? You're going out to the parties, meeting girls, and it's like these ideas, you wanted to do them, but you never really execute. So to see him actually doing it at a young age, I think that's great. And having my brother Sheldon, you know, just guiding him through with all the vast knowledge that he has, I think that's amazing. So I just want to display that, you know what I'm saying, and show that, because I strongly believe that there's a group, there's a body of brothers out there that's truly doing great things that should be highlighted. So this is what Brothers of Influence is about. This is what we're getting ready to do, and look forward for all the other great things that's coming your way. All right, it's your boy Les. Peace. Okay, so fellas, we're here. So let's start off with an introduction. How do we start over here with you, Andre?
No problem, Joe.
Tell us about yourself.
Andre Gunter, good friend of Les for a long time. I work in the construction industry. I'm an accountant, project accountant for over 11 years. Work on big buildings, big budgets, basically an accountant in the construction industry. I also have a page called the One Love Chronicles, which is me traveling, been to about 29 different countries, mainly with black population. I like to tell stories about like how we're all connected. Even though you may be from Ghana, Jamaica, or America, we're all technically the same. And we have a shared lineage that I believe is important for us to identify and recognize going forward. And personally, I just like to keep it present. I'm big on going around telling people, stop, don't think about tomorrow, don't think about yesterday. Yesterday is something in your head, tomorrow is something that will never come. So me and all of us right here, this is it, and we got to take advantage of this opportunity, you know?
It's a fact.
Yeah, I like that. That is a fact.
All right, Shells, why don't you tell everybody about yourself?
My name is Sheldon Myers, real estate investor, also owner of a wonderful brand from Jamaica called Rooted Treasure. We make Jamaican black castor oil in Jamaica. We import it and sell it here domestically, and both things I'm really passionate about. I've tried a number of businesses in the past. Real estate has been consistent. Rooted Treasure has been 5 years consistent, and serial entrepreneur. I love it, and that's pretty much it for now.
Dope.
All right, my name's Tajay. I'm a high school attendant. I'm a young entrepreneur. I have a business called Taj New York, and I'm under Sheldon's guidance, and I really like his guidance. Been through a lot of ups and downs throughout business. Had multiple businesses, but this one's been going on for a good couple months now, and yeah, that's about it.
What's up? All right, that sounds good. So, fellas, I just want to ask you guys a question, right? We all doing different things. We all got to a certain point in life. And for today's topic, I want to zone in on influence, right? We all had different things that influenced us in the direction that we're going today, right? So, do you guys have any examples of a situation, or it could be a person or an instance that happened to you that influenced your life in a particular way, that motivated you to go in a particular direction, that gave you a sense to go in a particular direction in life?
Yeah, of course. I started. I'm from Jamaica. I would say the immigrant story. I know I came to America to do something great. I didn't come here just to be like everyone else, and also the lack of coming to America with a lack of resources. It made me want to go out there and get more of it, and that's been the major influence, like just the lack of being here,
Yeah, because moving from a third world country is not easy. I also moved from Jamaica. Jamaica's a lot of poverty. Me and my mom, we never really had it. So that in my head makes me want to go out there and get it more influence to bring home. I don't want my mom to be working, until she's like 70, because back in Jamaica, people hold their jobs when they're old because they're not sure if they could retire and get, a stable living. But moving to America, that was a big thing for me and my mother. So when I moved here, I came under Sheldon. So after that, my mindset was just, we gotta get it. We can't just stay captivated in this one area.
It's a fact.
I like that a lot. For me, my biggest influence has been Marcus Garvey. I love that man. We're all Jamaicans here, Marcus Garvey to me is a selfish reminder of a person who lived for others. His goal was to unify, the diaspora all over the world, to say we love ourselves for being black. The little funny thing is, my name is Andre, but Andre isn't like black or African, it's French. Right. It's like those little things that we were colonized, we were enslaved, and in Africa they were colonized, and with that, it's like a lot of us have lost our identity. So with his life is just, Marcus Garvey went from Jamaica to America to England to Africa. He never actually went to Africa. He had a newsletter, and that circulated around the black world to show black people were united. Because this was not too long after, 50 years after slavery, when black people didn't really know what was going on with other black people. So with him, he kind of like, I've lived a selfish life for a very long time. And I think when I start reading upon him more, understanding his life, it inspired me to say, it's just not about me. It's about everyone else.
Right.
And also, I think that's a good.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Absolutely. And I would just say this to piggyback what you said, Taj. First of all, that's like one of my biggest motivators. Because I grew up. I'm Guyanese. I grew up in a very poor village, but I would like to say poor in terms of like the physical stuff. You know what I'm saying? Things. But definitely rich in like natural resources.
Right.
But I did grow up in a environment of lack. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it actually, I used to look at it as the curse, but now I look at it as the gift, because the kind of drive that I have now, it gives me a tremendous advantage in my pursuit of, what I want in life. You know what I'm saying? Because they say in business, you know what I'm saying, like, what's your why? You know what I'm saying, for doing what you do. And just coming from that position of lack and going through that, in those extremes, I feel like it allows you to have a very strong why you're doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And it allows you to pretty much break through. Because everything that you go through in life is going to be obstacles that's going to come in your way, that what I like to call to see how bad you want it. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And it's like nothing, I don't believe any dream or anything like that is unachievable. I think it's more like, as the obstacles come, how strong are you to get through the valley to see it come to fruition? You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's how it works. So I can definitely relate to that. You know what I'm saying? Because like, I've been through so many things in my life. I feel like I've been so far back. I've been broke. I know what broke feels like, that I'm like fearless. Because in my mind's eye, it's like, I've been broke already. I'm not afraid of being broke again. You know what I'm saying? What I am afraid of is not having a vision. And that's what I have abundance of at this point in my life. So, but going back to like an influence that I had many different influences in my life, but I'm just going to use examples around me today. And, my boy Shell's here. We used to work at Verizon together. And at that time, I was a legal alien here, but my green card, it expires after like 10 years or something like that. Then you have to apply for your citizenship. So my green card had expired for years. And I remember wanting to travel, but, at that point in my life, I never really took initiative to do things myself, and so accustomed to your parents doing stuff for you. So, we were working, and, at some point, Sheldon was doing his citizenship. And I remember seeing that. I remember like, wow, and just how he was explaining it, how he was talking about it, like, oh yeah, he seemed pretty serious about it. You know what I'm saying? He seemed like he went and did all the research himself and all of that. And that actually, like, it sparked something in my mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, like, this guy's actually like taking initiative to get it done himself. That was motivating to me to see that. You know what I'm saying? And it actually motivated me to do the same. Because otherwise I would have never did it. So then I went out and did it on my own, and I took the same steps, and subconsciously, it's so subtle. I believe one of my other boys, he's not here yet, but he sure will. He told me, show me your friends, I'll show you your future. All right, so yeah, I'm a strong believer in, you show me your friends, I'll show you your future. When I saw Sheldon, when I saw you, they're just going after it. And you have that ability, like when you do things, you're very serious about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's very motivating. I don't know if you noticed that, but it's very motivating. So when I saw it, you know what I'm saying? It's like that kind of rubbed off on me. You know what I'm saying? It really rubbed off, and I started imitating that. You know what I'm saying? I imitated that behavior in a subtle way. You know what I'm saying? And I got it, and I ended up getting my citizenship. You know what I'm saying? That's something that would have never happened unless I saw him doing it. So that was very important. You know what I'm saying? So that was just a very strong example for me that I remembered. You know, a second one is, and this is funny, you know, me and Shell, we didn't really used to like each other in Verizon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy.
We didn't used to like each other at all. And it's like, I remember, I'm like, man, like, look at this dude over here, man. Like, he's just like moving in here, like cool, calm. He's here part-time. And when he's here, he's not hustling for sales the way I'm hustling. His sales suck. You know what I'm saying? And he's always on the phone. I'm like, yo, this dude's a loser. Like, what's wrong with this dude? You know what I mean? And eventually the smoke cleared and we got cool. And when I really got to know Sheldon, he was telling me he actually does real estate. And he was talking to me about the deals and stuff. Like, I never considered real estate. Like, I'm there like a corporate, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm completely right. I'm here to do my job. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to make my sales. I want to hit the quota. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had me in line.
Right. Basically had you like a slave.
Yeah, they had me in line.
A corporate lackey or something like that. He just
You
does
know,
what he has to do. And
I don't want to put like a negative stigma on it, because it's kind of like people who are under that making a living, it's kind of like bashing them. So I don't want to do that.
Right.
But it's like, I was just in that mindset of like, okay, whatever the company says I need to do to succeed, that's what I'm doing. Like, I'm all for that. You know what I'm saying? And my mind wasn't open to anything else. So I think it's one day when we had went to a bar or something, you know, and then we started talking, and then that's when, you know, Shell, you started getting into the real estate, and then you started talking about, you know what I'm saying, you do rentals and stuff like that. And he was like, I remember the time, bro, I nearly choked on my drink. He was like, oh yeah, I closed the deals, like commission like 1,500, something over 1,000, right? And I remember my mind open. It's like it hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, bro, people are making money like that. Here I am focusing on this, and this is a month I'm probably seeing about $2,000. Right. This dude is working part-time. I already did the math in my head. This guy's working part-time, doing real estate on the side, renting apartments, collecting $1,100, $1,200, like just like that. My mind at that moment just unlocked. Right. At that, I kid you not, my mind unlocked at that particular moment to like different things other than what I saw. And I feel like that's like where it birthed me, started exploring being an entrepreneur and being more free. You know what I'm saying? To express myself. And that's where that journey began, from way back then to when I got into the clothes. You know, remember when I was selling the Louis Vuitton and all that stuff?
Yes.
Ordering that stuff from China and all that. Yeah. I tried a lot of different things, you know what I'm saying? Parties, events, all of that, you know what I'm saying? So that was one of the example of, you know, Shells, how you actually inspired me, you know what I'm saying? Up to this day, I really forgot about that, but it's so true, you know what I mean? That kind of like birth, because you know, in everything there's seeds. You plant seeds and then they grow gradually to what it is. Right. And Sheldon was actually one of those people who were around me from way back that kind of plant those seeds. You know what I'm saying? To that help me grow into, now I'm a full entrepreneur now. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy, but it's like at the ending of the day, you know, I'm a strong believer in influences. I'm a strong believer in like mentorship. You know, which is why I thought, you know what I'm saying, like, Shells, you mentoring Todd is just such an amazing thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's just dope to see that, you know what I mean? And that's why I wanted you guys to be here for real, because I feel like, that's dope. And even you, Taj, like there's gonna be a lot of young guys out there that's gonna be looking at you like, man, like you're a young entrepreneur, and they're gonna want to know like how they can take their dreams, whatever, because essentially you're gonna start to be further ahead. You're gonna start to see successes and all that in what you're doing, and then people gonna want to know how you do it.
Right.
And then the cycle continues. So I think that's great. You know what I mean? I definitely see that as a great thing. So anybody else have any other, examples of influences in their lives and what they're doing or anything like that?
I remember when I was still in Jamaica back then, my grandmother, very old lady, very, very old, but she's still strong. She sells, trying to make she's trying to make money to suffice herself. So I remember looking at that, and I remember going to school, and I'm like, yo, there's like 35, like 40 kids in my class. I can make some money off of that. So what I did was I saved my lunch money for a week because, back then I was getting probably like $100 to go to school, not 100, but in Jamaican currency. So I saved, and I had to save, and I bought a bag of candy. And I remember bringing that bag of candy to school, and at that time I didn't have a phone. But if they caught you selling candy in school, they would expel you, they would kick you out of school, and you don't want that because your parents is gonna go crazy. So I remember selling that candy. I remember a couple times when they came up, they did a search in class. I had a JanSport book bag where I had cut the top open and threw all the candy inside there. So when they searched it, they couldn't fill it because the sponge was in the bag. So I remember selling all those candy. And I remember I was like, yo, I don't have a phone. I can't communicate with my mom. I can't call this. So I finally got to the point where I saved enough money to buy a phone. But when the point came to buy a phone, I needed a SIM card because you can't just have a phone without the SIM card. So the next day I buy my candy. I came to school and I see this other kid trying to steal my business. So, I confronted him. I said, yo, what's up? Yeah, because he's trying to steal my customers, trying to steal my business. But I respect him, he's trying to make money, but he's not trying to make it for a worthy cause. He's just trying to make it for his pockets. And that's nah, man. If you need something, you're going to find the ways to make the things you need to get that one thing that you really want. Yep. So after that, now I just grew on. I started selling, loyal customers will come back. So I sold to my loyal customers. Right as I got enough to buy a SIM card, I had just left the business to him because there's no competition in that. If I had still was selling candy, I would have still made money, but I was only selling for that one cost. And it was to get my phone and a SIM card so I could communicate with family. But my grandmother, she's a very big influence on me. Very, very big. Old lady, goes to the market, buys her food. She sells in a stall. And I came from a yard of like 25, 30 people living in that one yard. And trust me, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all.
And I like how you touched on purpose. Because everything that we do, if you're going to succeed, you have to have a purpose in it. You can't just wake up. Like I went through a phase where I was having like depression and mental health issues. And I'm like, why am I getting up in the morning? What is the purpose of me going into work? What's the purpose of me living this life? And then, when you kind of figure yourself out, because as you go through life, different stages, you're just going along with, there's a point I believe that from when you're born to you have like a coming of age period where okay, it's not what your parents told you, it's not what society has told you, it's about what internally is the right thing and your own path. So I think when you brought up purpose in business, you could go, money should never be just the main motivator in anything. And I think that's important to let a lot of people know that it's the purpose of you doing things, because money is one of those things that comes and goes. But when you know that, okay, I'm doing this for that, it gives you a purpose to actually get up and do it in the morning, because money itself isn't everything,
Correct. Now that's a fact, man. You definitely right about that. I will definitely say one of the most freeing things for me as an entrepreneur I mean, earning a great income is great. You know what I'm saying? Having a successful business that's making money is great. But the thing about me in being an entrepreneur is, like you say, is the purpose for it. What I realized is I used to hustle. I didn't always used to be in business. And I understand this from a very early age, right? Because I remember not having money and being stressed and depressed to hustling and having like $1,000, $2,000 in my hand instantly in one day. And then I'm like, damn, this is not like a great feeling that I get. It's just kind of like, it just eliminated the stress.
Right.
That was it. So at that point, I realized that because I want to be I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I always knew I wanted to like make good money, but I understand that that's not going to make me happy. You know what I'm saying? So one of the most freeing things, so what I asked myself, okay, what are you going to do? What can you do that allows you to operate as an entrepreneur and give you a great feeling after, right? And that's how I ended up with my nonprofit organization. That was the first thing that I did because of that question that I asked myself, because I knew it very early. And now in what I'm doing, you know, with my welding school, that's doing great, working with minorities, you know, helping them kind of like, and it really is people who are where I used to be that I'm helping out, you know, and that gives me so much fulfillment. And it's like, one of the best part about being an entrepreneur for me is like to fully express myself without barriers. Like, I don't care about, how much money. I don't have a tip on my shoulder about how much I'm making. I'm myself at all times. I can relate to people. I'm the same around people and I feel 100% comfortable like that. I wake up, I feel great. I don't have to put on any facades about anything. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to inflate myself farther than where I need to be. It's just, for me, is the fact that I'm able to provide for my family. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to take some trips when I like. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that give me the great joy. But, you know, it's not, I'm after, I need the fast. None of that. So that in itself, it makes me feel good. I'm excited about being an entrepreneur. I love what I do. You know what I'm saying? It pushes me to do more things and express myself in different ways. You know what I'm saying? So what you say is very true. You know, it's like you need to have like a solid purpose behind what you do outside of money. It's not all about money. You know what I'm saying? Like you can go and you can make the world of money in business, and then come to find out you busy as hell. You don't have time for family. You don't have time for this. People don't see you. You know, you have no friends, this, that, and the third, and you have no life. That's how you see a lot of people who have businesses super successful, and then they end up jumping off bridges. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, if you look at Jim Carrey, I was looking at him the other day, very passionate dude. You know what I'm saying? But got to the height of his success only to realize that, you know, what he was doing was for people. Like he used his gifts to help people, but lost his sense of identity. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that was just an example of, like, I drew a lot from that because I knew exactly what he was talking about. I might not have been that high up the ladder, but I understand exactly what he's explaining. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have a sense of self because he's been so caught up in his career for so long and getting to that height that when he got there and all of a sudden you're at the top's nowhere else to climb, now you're really starting to think. And it's like, man, like, and he said it, he's like, so if I didn't have this, like, who am I really? You know what I'm saying? Like, if this wasn't around, who would Jim Carrey be? He couldn't answer that question. And that took him into depression.
And let me just jump in real quick. Two really good examples. One, His name was the guy who owned Golden Crust. You know, we're very familiar with Golden Crust, Caribbean. And when he died and he killed himself, it hit me. I'm like, he is the most successful Jamaican in America, or he's the most successful Jamaican outside of Jamaica that came to America, created an empire. He's at top of the world.
Right.
And then he killed himself. Second, I was watching the Chappelle special the other day, and he brought up Anthony Bourdain. Anthony Bourdain lived a beautiful life, right? To everyone. He's traveling around the world, eating good food, traveling, but he still killed himself because, as I said, success shouldn't be how well you look on the outside, but sometimes how you feel on the inside to make yourself happy. So money should never be a main motivator. It's about happiness, having a purpose, and as I said, man, you just gotta. Internally is important. Externally, what everyone looks at you is important, but at the end of the day, everything goes back to you on the inside. Yeah.
For sure. So let me ask you. So I just want to come back over here. So, Shells, Taj, like, how did you guys connect? Like, how did that whole journey start?
That's a funny story.
We actually talked about it a lot. Like, you know, we believe God put us together for a reason.
Yeah. Not to get really religious, but there's a reason.
Facts, speaking the truth.
You know, I own a 2-family in Queens. I had renovated the top floor. I was going through massive stress. You know, some family, I was there, eventually got them out. Now I'm carrying this mortgage, and now I'm like, you know, I need someone to rent upstairs, but I don't want just anyone, you know, it's a home. I want it to remain a home. Right. And I had another rental in Jamaica, Queens, and his aunt had called me, and her and I was talking, and, you know, we just phoned over the phone, and I said, hey, this unit you're calling on might not be the best fit. I said, you know, you should go and check out my unit. And she did, and she said, hey, it's gonna be for me, my sister, and my nephew. And I said, no problem. And eventually she took the place. Tyler was left by himself most of the time. And then we took him in as our son or brother or whatnot. And after that, him and I he saw what I was doing on the business front with Rooted Treasure, and I don't know what sparked his interest, but he can tell you that part, you know.
Yeah, so what really sparked my interest is, like, you know, my mom was always working, hardworking woman, you know, love to her. But what sparked my interest is, usually with Rooted Treasure, we do like 2 orders a week when, you know, and then we moved, when it started, we moved from the kitchen to the basement, and at the time the basement was dusty. It was like roaches, you know, it had to get renovated. So Sheldon renovated it, and then, you know, I never really knew Sheldon because when we moved in, I was at my aunt's house at the time. My mom and my aunt met Sheldon, so when I moved in, I see him, I say, you know, how you doing, manners, and then at a point, I went downstairs, you know, we started conversating. He showed me what Rooted Treasure was. I gave him a hand, I helped out. But as it started growing, my interest started growing in business. Like, me looking back onto the time where I used to sell candy in Jamaica, I'm like, this business is growing. I could do something else up here, you know. I also came up here for a purpose. I didn't just come up here to, like, move out of a bad neighborhood. No, you know, I came here for a purpose, and Sheldon sparked that purpose inside of me. Like, when I was here, I usually stay in a box. I never left Queens. Like, Queens was always it. You know, I never really talked to nobody because at that time I had a strong accent, you know. And at that time I used to wear a lot of, you know, cheap stuff, you know. So a lot of people usually make fun of me, you know. But I didn't really look at it like, you know, I thought I was fly. And then, you know, Sheldon opened my eyes to business, to like a new world. He said, yo, don't stay in Queens, you know, go out, go to the Brooklyn Bridge, go to the city, you know. And that really sparked my interest in everything. Like, I could really be living this life with my mom and all of us as a family, you know, going out there and get it, and then coming back and giving it to, you know, the family. And then when we moved to the basement, we started doing like 100 bottles a week, and then that times 2, like 200 bottles per week. and that really started, you know, like that really sparked myself. Like, yo, I have a good mentor right here. I'm gonna learn off of this, and I'm gonna bring this to other people. But you gotta know who you bring it to and who's gonna use it or whatnot.
Yeah, our operation was like in my kitchen on the first floor, and then when I finished the basement, it's so crazy. As soon as we finished the basement and moved downstairs, like he saw like my stress in the business trying to figure out digital marketing and how to promote the brand, and just to see it kind of just explode, and then hundreds of orders coming in, and it's like wow. And then how we built, what I really loved about Todd, like you know, he's a lot younger than me, but we'll talk as adults. Like I'll have adult conversation with him, and he was always open to receiving it and soaking it in. Because I was never really giving him bad info, just like, hey, try it out yourself. Like he said when I told him, get out of Queens, don't ever stay here. Like while you're home, make a trip to the city, go see other places. And he took that. I like this kid, because you can always tell someone something and it just goes in one ear and out the next. And he took initiative from like the motivation stuff I listened to. I saw that he started drawing to it from the music. Like, we like, certain rappers because of the message, and I'm like, wow, he's really embodying. Like I'm like, wow, he reminded me of a younger me times two, because he's like way ahead on the mental path, like to go out there. Like you said, in high school you didn't have a vision, you just living and going, but now he actually has a vision, and I'm like, wow, because I was the same way in high school. I was just making money, trying to get fly and girls or whatnot. But I always knew I wanted better, but I didn't have anyone to show me, like, hey, this is the direction you should go to.
Right. So that being said, I just want to go into, detail exactly. So tell us exactly what is a Rooted Treasure. I mean, I know the brand, but just for the audience sake, tell us more about the Rooted Treasure brand, because I really believe that it's a great product. Bro, I'm like super proud of you, man. Like just watching it, and the product is great. Just the marketing, everything behind it. I just feel like you just put, it shows that you put really good time and energy into executing into this whole brand of Rooted Treasure. So why don't you tell us more about Rooted Treasure, how it got started, what stroked the idea, how you came about, and kind of like your process.
So, Rooted Treasure, like Jamaican Black Castor Oil, you can find it in the beauty supply store. You can find it on the Amazon. But it's been in the family, like our family, we make it in Jamaica and sell it in the market. We never really commercialized it. We never had a way or a means to commercialize it, right? Or the vision. And going to Jamaica, I'm in real estate. A client of mine had asked me to bring up some of the real deal. And at that point I realized, you know what? There's no real Jamaican Black Castor Oil in the stores. And, at that point, a lot of people lost the way of making it. And I just, I put a team together to help me find other producers of the oil that make it the organic and natural way. And the vision, it came out in stages. Like I found someone to make the oil in bulk that I needed her to make it. And I had a vision of the look of the brand. I ordered the bottles from China. I didn't even have a brand name. I didn't have a brand color. I just kept on meeting different people within the process of creating the brand that all played a very important role to put in the look together. Once I got the name together, the packaging, everything came to me in a vision. Like I was what was it? Think and Grow Rich. I think they had a part of it, like sometimes when you're in the shower or in a place that's like you're closed in and there's nothing else on your mind. That's like when I'm in the shower, I'm just kind of thinking, showering, and then ideas just start exploding. So I used to keep a pen, and when I finished showering, as soon as I came out, I write down every single idea, from the name of the brand, the look, the color scheme, the bottle, and then I just went out there and I found these pieces. And long story short, I caught it on a great wave during the whole natural hair movement, and it's all about timing. And I didn't hesitate. I put it out there on Instagram, and that's how it started exploding. Instagram and Amazon.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope. And Taj, like, how did you talk to us about your business? Like, how did your business get started and all that? Talk to us about that.
All right, so basically, first, we came out with 120th Street. Me and Sheldon was conversing, and I was like, yo, I really like the idea of Rooted Treasure, and I want to start my own business. So we came out with 120th Street, coming out with lights for, because at the time, a lot of people take selfies, put it on Instagram, and you know, sometimes the lighting is off. But most of the times, what we did was like, we got a little circular light that they put on the top of their phone, and it'll take the picture with like a brighter light. But that didn't really work out for us, so we used that as like the mother business. But then after I saw that, you know, biking is getting in like a really big thing, and I saw that people want to make life less of a hassle, so I brought out a Bluetooth bike lock and a Bluetooth locker lock, where you just go up to it, use your fingerprint, you know, you open the lock, simple as that. It's called a Taj New York. And the bike lock, all you need is just basically your phone and the app. So when you go up to your bike, you press the button on the lock, you open it, and it's as simple as that. It makes life less as a hassle. So this basically is two of my products right here. This right here, the Bluetooth fingerprint lock. You know, you put your fingerprint, it opens the lock. You could get this at tajnewyork.com. You can follow us on IG at Taj New York. So this is one of our products, very cool product. And this right here is one of our Bluetooth bike locks. So this is how I really got into this. So first I saw everyone riding bikes, you know, riding bikes is fun. I wanted to get into the lifestyle of riding bikes. But I've been through a lot of ups and downs riding bikes. First, I got my bike stolen, you know, and then I was like, yo, I don't want my bike to get stolen. Bikes are very expensive. And then it came into mind that if I could make life less hassling for people, you know, people on the run, people on the go, people who's in the gym, you know, I'm gonna make that. And riding bikes is not like, I'm not doing it just, you know, just to do it. I'm doing it because I love it. It's like my culture. I love riding bikes. So if I could make life easier for people who ride bikes, I will. So I came out with this Bluetooth bike lock. You know, this is very, very good for when you lock up your bike. You just lock it up, you go back to your bike. Say you go to the store, you lock it up real quick, you go back to your bike, take your phone out, open the lock, you'll be good, you go. Even if you're at the gym, you know, you go, you lock your locker. You don't want to have to remember codes, you don't want to have a key. You don't want to have all that in your pockets or in your heads. You just go, all you need is your fingerprint. You just open it just like that. And I think these products right here make life way easier for whoever wants. But if you want to know more, just follow us on Instagram at Taj New York. And you could go on the website if you want to purchase one at tajnewyork.com. And I think this will make your life easier. Trust me.
Yeah, so I bought a bottle. So this is the packaging. When anyone purchases a bottle of Rooted Treasure, I make sure that they feel like they're getting something special, because it is something special. And I wanted to feel like it's like Christmas every time they make an order. So I put in this custom pouch. And then, so this is the oil itself. This is the 4 ounce. This is the popular seller. And you can check us out on Amazon. You can look at the reviews. You can also visit rootedtreasure.com and pick up a bottle. You know, if you do watch this, if you listen to the podcast, if you're watching it on YouTube or whatever platform, you can just send us a DM. We'll provide a discount code and just put where you found out about Rooted Treasure. We have the tote bags, you know, for the ladies or for whoever. I carry the bag all the time. And when people see it on the street, they always ask me for a bag or what it is, where can they get the bag from. But yeah, you can check this out on the website, and all natural products.
Just come over to me real quick. I want to definitely attest to that because I use it a lot. I use that a lot.
Yeah.
So guys, listen, this stuff right here, I use it. I'm telling you, I use this stuff. You follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I repost this thing a lot. I started off growing my beard using this thing. You know what I'm saying? I started growing my beard like in April, May. You know what I'm saying? Right now we're in September, and look how much growth I have, you know? So, and I really use it. Not only do I use it for my hair, I use it on my skin. You know what I'm saying? What I notice is that it brings the color of my skin out more. You know what I'm saying? It keeps my skin moisturized for a long period of time. And I just love it. You know what I'm saying? I also put it on my kids' skin and their hair as well. And it keeps their skin moisturized for a very long time. I really do love this product. Like, genuinely love this product. I use it. I'm not talking based on selling. I use this product. You know what I'm saying? Especially ladies. You see them hard to reach white spot in the feet? Yo, this your thing right here. I tell you, I use this thing on my feet all the time. You know what I'm saying? My feet are always shining. You know, them knees, them elbows. I'm telling you, this thing is the best. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I use it. You could use it for a lot of different things. You should definitely, I mean, don't take my word for it. Buy one, try it out. This stuff is great. I'm telling you, Shells, you definitely onto something great with that, man. That's the real deal, Holyfield.
Thank you.
All right, and I have my guy, Andre here. Talk to us about traveling, man. That's one of my favorite things.
The world is big. I think that's the best way to put it. I look at it as if when you live in one area for most of your life and you kind of do the same things, you're only opening one chapter of a book. And when you start going around the world, seeing how different people live, how different histories, you kind of understand that, you know, the world is big and you have to try as best as you can to experience that. Someone told me, you could always save up some money to buy some materialistic things that will go away in a couple of months. You know, you buy some Gucci shoes and the next thing is out of style in a couple of months. So you just wasted $800 on it. I don't know, take a trip to Canada. Take a trip to Mexico. Take a trip to Jamaica. You know, and then when you start making smaller trips, you can start expanding your world. Go to Dubai, go to Egypt, go to Japan. You know, I've been to 29 countries in the past, 8-9 years. I just connect the dots, you know? So I have a little website called, and an Instagram page called The One Love Chronicles. It's just me going around different places and telling stories and trying to teach people about how big the world is, the different cultures that encompasses it. And I'm big on connecting the Black diaspora, you know? A quick funny story, I went to Costa Rica, and within Costa Rica there's a town called Limon. And Limon is on the Caribbean side. And Limon is actually built from, most of the settlers in Limon are Jamaicans and Trinidadians and Guyanese who came there to work on a railroad. So when you go there in Costa Rica, you know, the black people, they speak Spanish, you know, buenos dias, but when they speak English, they speak in patois, you know? And it's a crazy thing to understand that there's people from, you know, Jamaicans are in Costa Rican and they've ingrained themselves in the culture, and it's just interesting, and everyone is connected in the world. But also my personal page, I like to talk about staying present. It's a very important thing to me. You know, every Monday morning I do this little thing on my way to work. I just stop and I look in the camera and I tell people, hey, today is the day. Yesterday, something in your head, tomorrow will never come. Whatever you need to do, you need to get it. The best time to do something is right now, because today is the only time you have. And with that, it's kind of like, I try not to live in my head. A lot of us, we like to sit around and daydream or worry about, oh, something gonna happen to me at work tomorrow, or yesterday, you know, somebody hit me. But when you get out of your head, you focus on right now, and then you breathe easier. You everything gets done in a constructive way. So I tell people to stay present, stop worrying about yesterday, stop worrying about tomorrow. Like right now, we're here, me, Taj, our new friends, Shelton, my homeboy Leslie. Right now, this is it. And now it gets rid of all of the crap that's in your head, you know? And that's pretty much it. So I'm a big on traveling, connecting to the Black diaspora. Follow me on the One Love Chronicles and my personal page, Andre Guns 2, where I talk about staying present, okay? Thank you.
Amazing, that's great. And guys, you know, so that's it, you know, so just to recap, you know, essentially Brothers of Influence, this is what it's all about. You know, I hope someone gathers something here that inspired them or sparked something that can encourage them to live a more fulfilling life or to take a step towards something, or just that will help you get to the next step towards what you're supposed to be, you know, what you're supposed to be doing. So essentially, this is what this is all about. You know, today we spoke to a good friend of mine, Sheldon. We spoke to Taj, you know, how they came about. You know, we spoke about Sheldon and his businesses, Root to Treasure, and Taj with Taj New York. We spoke to we spoke to Andre, you know, being a world traveler. I love to travel. You know, I'll definitely be talking to him more often about me getting on that journey, because I feel like that's the next step in my life. I would love to travel the world and see different things, and I do feel like that's very important. So yeah, so just to round things up, you know, this was great. You know, if you see anything that inspired you, follow these guys. You know what I'm saying? If any of you out there looking for any kind of mentorship, either from me or any of these gentlemen, feel free to reach out. Instagram, reach out to them on Instagram, whatever, and like, let your presence be known. You know what I'm saying? It's like people are there to help you out. You know what I mean? Not everyone is. So put aside the pride or whatever it is. Like if you have something you feel like someone might be able to assist you with, you know what I'm saying? Just through a conversation, like send that message, do whatever you have to do, take that step. You know, so we're here, we're a pool of resources. We don't know it all, you know what I'm saying? But as we come together, we could make it all happen. So this is what this is all about. So look out for the next episode. I think this was great. You know, shout out to, you know, Shells. It's always love, bro. It's always love, Taj. Andre. You know, so that's it. That's wrap it all up, guys. Look out for our next episode of Brothers of Influence. Thank you for joining us. Have a peaceful day. Blessings.